Oh, there's nothing like adventuring in soggy boots, huh? This is Cheetah G. Welcome back to my playthrough of Star Wars The Old Republic. And as you can see, I'm playing as the Jedi Knight. And our current mission is to go to the nearby Twi'lek village and speak to their matriarch. And it's not far. It's pretty much just over this bridge and up the hill here. You know, over the river and through the woods. Yeah, you really don't want to hear me sing. You really don't. I've been thinking about what I should be talking about, or what I want to talk about in this playthrough, and I'm really not sure. I've never really done a full LP before, and I keep thinking, should I talk more about like the game mechanics, or should I talk more about the storyline stuff? I mean, you've probably noticed, even if you haven't played this game before, if your only experience of it is like YouTube videos, you probably noticed that this game is, especially for an MMO, it's extremely heavy on story. The storyline is one of the most important things in this game, and that's part of the reason I love this game, because I love games with a really strong story. I mean, personally, that's one of the reasons that I play video games. I see them as, another storytelling medium, kind of like a movie or a book. And, I love stories. And so I'm not sure, should I focus on the story in this game? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I should do. Anyway, we're now in the Twi'lek village here, as you can see, and there's several side quests that we can do here. You may or may not have gathered from the cutscenes before this. This village is actually an illegal settlement. These Twi'leks are not supposed to be here, and the Jedi are not supposed to be helping them because of that. Whether they agree with it or not. And these Twi'leks, they're kind of like, I guess they're kind of like a religious sect, I suppose. That's the closest thing that I can gather from them. They're referred to as the Twi'lek pilgrims, so there definitely seems to be a religious reason for them being here and living in this community this way. It's never entirely clarified how their beliefs differ from other Twi'leks. I mean, the most we can gather from it is that unlike other Twi'leks, they have a matriarch who leads them, but it never gets much clearer than that. Anyway, our mission at this point is to speak to the matriarch and see if she can help us fight the Flesh Raiders. And this will be her right here.
Greetings, matriarch. Master Orgus Din has sent me to help you fight the Flesh Raiders.
So the Jedi finally deigned to recognize my people's suffering. How noble. Nothing to do with the attack on your training grounds, I'm sure.
Massive attitude here. Okay. Yeah.
We didn't realize how great a threat the Flesh Raiders had become.
And now you seek help from the people you once ignored. My scouts have tracked the Flesh Raiders for months.
How embarrassing.
Watched them grow in strength. I will share what we've discovered, but only if you agree to protect my people. We suffer.
Mother, you need rest. Let me carry this burden for you.
Obviously, there's something wrong with her.
The matriarch appears sick. Does she need a doctor?
Thank you, but we have our own healers.
This is my daughter, Rana Dalven. She and Scout Chief Morint here will speak for me. I must attend to other matters.
Personally, I don't care why you've come. As long as you destroy the Flesh Raiders. Ever since they got their new weapons and gear, they hunt us like animals. The enemy has a camp in the valley nearby. My scouts say the Flesh Raiders store their weapons and other tech in a cave.
Removing that technology will neutralize the Flesh Raiders.
We need to strike fear into the Flesh Raiders, sabotage their weapons. Fix it so they blow up in their ugly faces.
How would we do that?
Their technology is standard Republic design. We could overload the power circuits and plasma coils. Here, I'll show you.
But the game won't.
Sabotage would thin the Flesh Raider numbers and eliminate their technological advantage.
If you brought that technology here, we could defend ourselves with those weapons.
Okay, this leads to one of the first light side, dark side decisions in the game. But I'll get to that when we come to it.
Either one of those plans could work.
My people aren't afraid to fight for their homes. We just lack the means.
This debate is pointless unless you can get inside that cave. You'll need one of the leader's access keys.
Find the Flesh Raider technology and do what you think is best. Good luck, Master Jedi.
I always find it kind of interesting that people who are not part of the Jedi Order refer to all Jedi as Master Jedi, whether they're actually a Jedi Master or if they're just a Padawan. I don't know, I just find that kind of interesting. Anywho, do I want to go ahead and do these, start these now? I think I will, because I'll be able to do them while I'm like on the way to doing my class mission right now, so I'll go ahead and start them. If it gets too long, I'll cut them out. See, it makes it pretty obvious that up until now, the Jedi didn't think that the Flesh Raiders were, they didn't think they were a threat, apparently, and obviously that is not the case. Which is kind of weird, because if you've seen the Flesh Raiders, how could you not realize that those things might be dangerous? I don't know, sometimes I call them land sharks. They look like hammerhead sharks on legs, I think. There's a lot of times you'll hear somebody talking, and it's like, what accent is that? It's pretty funny when you play Imperial, when you play on the Imperial side, because every once in a while you'll run across a random Scottish person. It's like, oh, they're from the Scottish side of the galaxy. Okay, I actually forgot about this. But I was going to talk about it anyway. Sometimes in the game, you'll come across a decision that you have to make in conversation, and when you mouse over the different options you have, you'll see either this icon here or that icon there, and that means that this is a light side, dark side decision, and this one you get light side points, and usually it'll be a decision that is more, I guess, traditionally moral or more in line with Jedi teachings, I guess. I mean, if you're playing as a Jedi, obviously. And then, of course, there's also the dark side decision, which is, as you might imagine, less upstanding. This one, I'm going to go with the light side option.
I won't help you feed the elixir to the pilgrims.
Fine. Obey the orders of an old woman and destroy the elixir. But pilgrim blood is on your hands. The elixir is in the caves beyond our village. I doubt Jedi can even come close to the vats.
The difference between the two options may not be initially obvious, and really, overall, it doesn't really make all that much of a difference, although there are certain quests where what you have to do to complete the mission actually changes depending on what option that you make. And depending on what option you make, you might end up making more work for yourself. If you want to see how many light side, dark side points you have, you go to your character screen, which you do by either clicking this or pressing C, and right next to your character's picture, there's an alignment scale. And this scale here goes up and down depending on how many light side or dark side points. They do count them overall, as you can see, and the dark side points count as negative, so they do subtract any dark side points you have from how many light side points you have to get your overall alignment. As you can see, right now I have 100 light side points and 0 dark side points. I guess as far as gameplay goes, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, although if you get all the way to level 5 of either alignment, you end up getting a special ability, but it doesn't really affect gameplay in any obvious way. Really, it just goes for storyline, like if you want to RP as a good guy or a bad guy, or, you know, it's mainly for story purposes, I guess. It doesn't really make that much difference to the game as a whole. Okay, so if we now look on our map, we can see where we're supposed to go for these missions now, and somebody's being chased by good luck, dude. You may run into a few somewhat more difficult enemies in this area than before. Nothing too bad, though, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. I mean, this is the first planet. You're not going to run into something or anything too difficult, although, well, we'll just have to see what happens. And obviously somebody else has been here recently, judging from the dead bodies. That's one thing. Can be a little annoying to play this game at times when there's a lot of server traffic, because you may be trying to complete certain quests and have a hard time doing it because there are so many other players that you might have to wait a long time for enemies you need to fight to respawn. Oh, God, I hate that. So you can see that guy will knock you out, and I swear that noise it makes, it's just that is a hideous, hideous noise. First time I ever heard that, I think I jumped out of my seat. I swear I thought my character's neck was broken. I was like, oh my God. It still makes me cringe. Okay, here's where we need to go for the class mission. Like I said before, this area is particular to the Jedi Knight. Other characters cannot get in here unless they're in a group with you at the time that you're doing it. So that is one thing. Most of these class missions can be completed solo, but if you want, or you just don't feel, you know, you're I guess if you're scared to do it by yourself, you can get other people to group with you, although you might have a hard time finding people on some servers. It just kind of depends how many people there are at the time. Usually only one Jedi Knight or one person per class can get into an area, but there is a and I guess a lot of people don't know about this because I hear people asking about it a lot. If you go to preferences here, and let's see, where is it? It's I think it's under social. Yeah, you go to general and allow access to same class story areas. If you turn that on, that will allow numerous people of the same class to enter class story areas. And by that I mean, if you're, like, say you're a Jedi Knight and you want help in a certain story area, normally it would not allow other Jedi Knights to come in with you, but if you turn this on, they can. Yeah, it's just, personally, I hardly ever use that because I usually try to do stuff on my own. Because if you are the sufficient level for what you're doing, you shouldn't have any trouble with it. And most of the time when I see people having trouble with their class story areas, it's because they didn't level up enough. You know, just got a little ahead of themselves. Don't do that. Just be patient. Okay. This guy, a little more difficult than the average enemy, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. And yellow means he has a mission item. So pick that up and that allows you to get this door open. And something kind of important happens here. Let's see, open this thing. And these are those weapons that they were talking about earlier. And as they were talking about earlier, you can decide to either take the weapons to give to the villagers, or you can sabotage them so that they'll blow up and kill the flesh raiders. And as you might expect, sabotaging it is going to be a dark side option because you're gonna be killing people. And taking them for the villagers is light side because you're allowing them to defend themselves. And I usually go light side on this one just because, you know, I'm a Jedi, and I'm going to do that now. It doesn't actually make any difference as far as the storyline goes. You know, I think it's mainly helpful, like I said, if you want to, you know, RP or you're playing your character in a certain way. Yeah, it's really up to you. This particular one, it doesn't make any difference in the story, so I'm just going to take them.
Once they have all this, the Twi'leks can defend themselves.
Oh, and what's this? Well, consider yourself rescued.
Don't worry, little guy. I'll get you out of here.
Well, you're lucky they didn't take you apart.
Good thing the flesh raiders don't eat droids.
Teach our soldiers how to use these weapons. Train them on the Twi'lek invaders.
When will we strike against the Jedi?
Patience, Caliph. The Jedi will fall when our army reaches full strength.
That guy looks familiar. Okay, well, of course I'll remove your restraining
Never
bolt.
understood the need for restraining bolts anyway.
Ready to roll. And surprise, you got your first companion. He's not going to stay with you for very long in this first part, but don't worry about that. You'll see him again. This is T7. In battle, he functions as a tank. He will draw the enemy's attacks, although he doesn't do much damage, but this early in the game, he's not going to have any trouble standing up to most enemies. Really not much to say about it. I really like T7. You wouldn't think that a robot shaped like a trash can on wheels could be so adorable, but he is. I really like him. He reminds me of R2 from the movies. God, look at all the bodies. You may wonder, it's like, oop. I actually opened that by accident, but that's your crew window, and you can't use it until you actually get a companion. But as you can see, T7 isn't showing up here as a permanent companion yet. He's just a guest. So, yeah, you won't have him for long, but don't worry about that. What's the connection to the movies? Well, as far as the movies are concerned, this game is actually ancient history. This game actually takes place as, if I remember correctly, it takes place upwards of 3,000 years before the movies. So this is, the distant past as far as the movies are concerned. If you are familiar with the game Knights of the Old Republic or have played it, you may be interested to know this game takes place approximately 300 years after that game, and later on you will see numerous references to people or to people from that game or things that happened during that game. So if you're a Knights of the Old Republic fan, you be on the lookout for that. You'll probably see a few things that you recognize. Oh, and we gained a level. Yeah, every time you gain a level, it's probably worth it to go and check your with your trainer just to see if there's anything else you can learn. There will be, if there is a new ability that you can learn, there will be a green plus sign next to the oh good, now my clothes match. That makes me happy. I hate it when my clothes don't match. Yeah, I'm a little obsessive about that. I'm OCD. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I guess I could let's see if you look in the map. Yeah, you can't see it. Oh, well, that's because I don't have everything turned on. I thought I already did this. Well, anyway. Yeah, I can't really see it from here. Well, anyway, I'll go back and check at some point. See if I've got... Oh.
She died in my arms. You should have seen what those filth did to her.
I'm sorry, Selu. We all share your loss.
For every one of us the Flesh Raiders butcher, we should kill 10. No, 100.
Will that restore your loved one to life?
Don't lecture me, Jedi. My wife is dead. Our people slaughtered. Where were you then?
I took all the Flesh Raiders' weapons, so you can defend yourselves.
Finally, one of you who understands. Give me those weapons. We'll hunt down the Flesh Raiders. We'll have retribution.
Not sure that would be a good idea. You seem a little trigger happy right now. Let's give them to the leader.
Your leader should decide how to use these weapons, not you.
The Jedi is wise. You should listen to her. Go and warn your wife, Selu. I'll organize a militia to protect our village.
He still wants revenge, but at least he isn't armed. People wonder why Jedi are forbidden to marry or have families. They don't see how attachments always lead to suffering. Passionate emotions can destroy a person, and Jedi destroyed by passion become something terrible.
Hey, I like the way he talks. I love how it's like the droids that don't actually speak basic, actually, they kind of, they speak in equations. I don't know why. I find that really, what's the word? Endearing, I guess.
T7 was captured by the Flesh Raiders. You'll want to see the holo recording he made.
While I deal with the droid, talk to Rana. I think her people are ready to help us, thanks to you.
Oh. Okay, where is she? Oh, okay.
With the weapons and technology you brought from the Flesh Raiders, my people can defend themselves. Your heroism gives me hope that we'll survive this.
By the way, how's your mom doing?
And your matriarch? Is she feeling any better?
No, but we're doing all we can. Thank you for asking. Morant, our friend should know everything we've learned about the Flesh Raiders.
Scouts report that the Flesh Raider forces are gathering in strength. They already control the mountains around us, and now they're invading the ruins of Kaleth. My men spotted them at the remains of an ancient shrine, close to your Jedi temple.
Kaleth was a great city of Force users. Its ruins hold powers we still don't understand.
The Flesh Raiders are looking for something there.
We can't let them find it. Drive back those Flesh Raiders immediately. I have to take this droid back to the Council. That hooded figure in the holo, I know his voice. The situation is worse than I thought. Do whatever it takes to push the Flesh Raiders out of Kaleth. I'll send you reinforcements as soon as possible.
Okay, then.
I'll hold the line until reinforcements arrive, Master.
If you see that hooded figure from the holo, do not engage him. Now get going.
Okay, and see, we don't have T7 anymore, but that's okay. It's not the last you're gonna see of him. Okay, well, you know, is this, the, first planet here is going to be, these first few videos are going to be really, cutscene heavy. That's probably not going to be the case later, but there are a lot of cutscenes in this game. It's like I said, the story is very important. And, that's one of the things I really enjoy about it. Anyway, I don't want to make these videos too long. I'm going to be trying to keep them between about 15 and 20 minutes long. As you can see, there's another mission I can do over there. I'll probably do that off screen. Maybe I'll film it just in case somebody wants to see it. I don't know. Anyway, in the next video, we go on to the ruins of Kaleth and see what's going on there.